Mr. Gordon, before I explain things, I must tell you something. It's not going to be easy for me to say it, and it's not going to be easy for you to hear it. Your niece, Mary, and this Sir George Barnwell are lovers. Yesterday, she ran away with him.
My Mary, I don't believe you. It isn't true.
I'm sorry, but it is. When Barnwell first visited your house, you didn't know much about him. But he is one of the worst men in England, a liar and a thief. He lost all his money years ago in the gambling clubs of London. Mary loved this handsome man. She met him every night at the window by the stable lane. Mary knew nothing of men, and she was soon under his terrible power. On the night of the crime, Mary met Barnwell by the window and told him about the emerald crown.
The crown is upstairs in the desk.
I can get a lot of money for this crown.
Can you bring to me later this evening?
Sure.
When you came downstairs, Mary stopped speaking to Barnwell and quickly closed the window. She then told you about Lucy meeting her admirer. That was the truth, of course. But this happened earlier. Arthur went to bed after his angry talk with you. He slept badly and got up in the night when he heard a noise. He looked out of his door and saw Mary go into your office. She came out with the crown and took it downstairs. Arthur went after her and saw more. Downstairs, Mary gave the crown to somebody through the open stable lane window. After that, she went back to her room. Arthur loved Mary, and he didn't want people to know about her crime. But he needed to get the crown back, so he dressed quickly and went downstairs. She jumped out of the window without any shoes on, and ran after a man in the stable lane. It was, of course, our friend Barnwell. Arthur pulled Barnwell down into the snow. Then he hit Barnwell above the head. The men pulled at the ground between them. Suddenly, something broke, and the crown was in Arthur's hands. He went back into the house, closed the window behind him, and ran upstairs to your office. The crown was twisted. He could see, and he wanted to put it right. And then, Mr. Holden, you came in.
Yes, I saw Arthur very wildly at the crown with his hand. Now I understand.
You then made Arthur angry. You called him a liar and a thief, and he couldn't explain. He didn't want you to know about Mary's crime.
And Mary fell down when she saw the crown. Now I understand that too. Oh, Mr. Holmes, I was very wrong about my son, but how did you learn all this?
Well, the snow was a big help to me. Remember when I went out and looked at the garden at your house?
Yes.
I could see much of the story of that terrible night in the snow. When I walked up the path, I saw footprints near the kitchen door. They were the footprints of a young man and a man with a false lead.
Oh yes, Lucy and Francis Prosper. And was he the man in the garden on the night when I come back home with the crown?
Yes, that was Prosper. He came to meet your new maid Lucy. There were two sets of footprints in the stable lane. The first set was of a man in big shoes. These footprints were next to the stable lane window, and the man waited there for a long time, I could see. The footprints then went down the lane to a tree. The second set of footprints was of a man with no shoes. They came from the window out into the lane. They went down to the tree. In the snow, I could see the story of a fight between the two men. I found some blood there. Then the first set of footprints went off down the lane. The second set of footprints came back to the window. You remember when, in your house, I looked carefully at the window by the lane. I saw a footprint of the man with no shoes there, so he came back in through the window I nailed. I started to understand the case better. The man with no shoes was Arthur. But I had two questions. Who was the man in the lane, and who brought the crown to this man? Well, it wasn't Arthur, so Mary or one of the maids was the guilty one. Arthur's silence was important. He wanted to protect somebody. It wasn't Lucy or the younger maids, it was Mary, because he loved her. But who helped Mary with the crime? Mary was a good young woman, but perhaps a lover had power over her and made her do it terrible thing. So who was her lover? Only one or two visitors came to your house, you said. One of those was Barwell. My friends told me about him some years ago. He had a bad name with women then, and he has a worse name with women now. But was Barwell really the thief? I wanted to be sure. So after my visit to your house yesterday, I went home and I put on an old working man's coat. I then visited Barwell's house and spoke to his maid. I'm a poor man. Could you give me something to eat?
I'm afraid Mr. Cromwell doesn't hurt anyone. He isn't a very good person. That night he came home with a cut in the eye. He probably had a fight.
But I don't have any money. But I need some new shoes.
Here are Mr. Cromwell's shoes.
Oh, thanks, madam. You're a very good person.
You're welcome.
I know nothing of the Emerald Crown.
You stole the emeralds. Your lover Mary gave you the emerald crown last night at the stable main window. You had a fight with Arthur. I saw the footprints in the snow and well.
Give me 3,000 pounds for them.
Okay. I got to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was the end of a very long day's work.
I like when you stop the door with candle from heaven. I can't find words to thank you. Now, I must find my son and say sorry for not believing him. Well, goodbye, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye. Watson.
You always find the answer in the end, Holmes.
It's all in a day's work, Watson.
Is this bass really strong enough?